everyone, and welcome back to another installment of our Adaptive Esports tournament featuring Rocket League. I'm your host, Glitter Explosion, joined by Frank. We have one more day of qualifiers today, and after what we saw last time, I think this one's going to be pretty intense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, especially when we consider like the leaderboard. I know there's some things to talk about there, but you know, week after week, the matches have only getting more and more intense. The skill continues to elevate, and I just don't know if this day we're going to get more surprises like we did last time with Disbel.
I mean, I really hope so, but if you guys are just joining us for the first time, let's walk through how this whole event works. Okay, now we've already done 3 of our qualifiers. This is the very last one, but if you haven't signed up yet, or if you don't make it through with our normal qualifiers, we will have an LCQ that will lead into our finals there in January. Now, as far as the format goes, we've got obviously Rocket League 2v2 with a single elimination bracket, standard game rules with our 7-goal limit, which has been used a few times now, and it's actually made things very interesting.
Yeah, and that's all thanks to Dotes, right? Solitude and Disbel. They've kind of made it their MO at this point, and now it's not just are they going to win, but how fast are they going to do it?
And then, of course, it's best of 3 all day until we make it to the finals on the day. Then it is a best of 5. First place taking home $1,400 every single time, Frank. We talk about this. There's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah, and that even applies to the LCQ. So while it's just going to be the team that wins the last chance qualifier that moves on to those finals on January 18th, the prize pool is still there. So even if you don't make it through, you get a little bit of a consolation prize.
We love it. Okay, we've got a lot going on, and we've done these a few times now. But of course, we have fantastic community game nights immediately after this broadcast. Make sure you come hang out with us. You can head on over to aet.gg to join in on all of the fun.
Yeah, and those have been a really good time and kind of a little bit more flexible. You know, as these have evolved, we've got more people involved, and it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure with regards to what game we're going to play. So, you know, I encourage all of you to enter that Discord, apply, and you know, voice your opinion, because we found a lot of really fun games and had a really good time with those.
Yeah, an amazing community has been forming around this entire event, but we also have some really cool things to give you all in chat. You can do !AET for your chance to win these amazing peripherals up on your screen. And we have a few of those. So make sure you guys are hanging out with us in chat, getting your entries in, and potentially going home with some really cool prizes. And then finally, if you guys want to support any of our amazing charity partners, you can head on over to aet.gg/donate, and your donation will be split evenly amongst those 3 partners down below. Very amazing causes, Frank.
Yeah, and of course, you know, without all of these partners, then this event really doesn't happen. So, you know, if you're so inclined, if you have the means, we really appreciate those donations.
100%. Now, you talked about the leaderboard earlier, okay? We get to take a look at it. We've got a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down. So what's really interesting is even though Fear the Nub and Michael Dot kind of fell in our grand finals of that last tournament, they still remain at the top of that leaderboard just due to those consistent placings. And then you see in that 3rd place, kind of inching up on our leaders, is Solitude, but where is his teammate? He just so happens to be in 9th right now, just off of that graphic with 60 points. So only 5 points away from being on that leaderboard and kind of being able to hang out with Solitude there. And, you know, the big thing that could potentially happen today, depending on how the bracket goes, is Fear the Nub and Michael Dot could potentially, for the first time, fall out of those first place positions.
Which would be crazy, and especially considering the fact that Disbel did not start playing until the last qualifier that we did. So he's just outside the top 8 in 1 qualifier. So I'm excited to see what they do here today. As we take a look at the bracket, we can see that Nubble Trouble and Frozen Heart on the top side have made their way through to semis, and then down there at the bottom we've got Nerve Damage and Dotes. Now, like you said, Nubble Trouble made it all the way to finals last time, fell to Dotes. Both these teams back in the semis. We've got so many storylines to talk about.
Yeah, so Nubble Trouble, again, kind of both of those teammates respectively won qualifier number 1 and number 2. They decided to team up, and we all kind of expected them to have an easy time, and we're like, okay, who's going to beat them? Little did we know the answer was waiting for us right in front of our very eyes with Dotes. They really turned up. Of course, Solitude and Disbel was that team, and they just impressed us. Disbel was pulling off plays that I didn't expect to see. You know, I know that the skill has elevated. A lot of these players have been putting in practice, work, hours, and really improving. But yeah, Disbel kind of came in like a hurricane last time and really showed us kind of where that bar can be. interested to see because it's a new team name with Frozen Heart, and they're going to be going up against our first place on that leaderboard in Double Trouble, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Well, I can't wait to get into all the matches. Our first semifinals match is actually ready to go, so let's kick things off and see what happens here.
Hey, I'm ready to get into this one. Again, like we mentioned, Double Trouble has the history, has kind of the pedigree, but didn't have the performance in the last event. And, you know, Frozen Heart, a very cool name, no pun intended. We're going to have to see if they can ice out Double Trouble in this one. Kickoff is going to go slightly in favor of Double Trouble. Like we mentioned last time, Michael wins so many of these 50-50s that it really can give your team a lot of the momentum you need early on in these matches to, again, another pun, get the ball rolling. But here we have Frozen Heart off to a nice start, trying to get aggressive. The new face Moldatu out there on the pitch, looking nice, just waiting in the wings. Gets a nice touch, trying to set something up for Frozen Heart, but just slightly out of position on that attack. And unfortunately, that positioning is going to be exploited by Fear the Nub as he takes it all the way for a goal. What I'm really liking about what Fear the Nub did here is, again, those split-second decisions, being able to determine that there's an open net and just transition that one into an instant goal really sets these leaders apart. We have here another kickoff, rolling carry, another great performer in AET. Going to be able to get a nice little touch, but that one's going to be swollen away. Michael now and Fear the Nub setting this one up. A pass might occur. They have the insurance policy, and it's back-to-back goals for Double Trouble in under a minute. You can see the teamwork here. This was something that I think, you know, was great between Fear the Nub and Michael with those qualifier number 1 and number 2 performances, but I'm going to say during that last qualifier, it seemed like there was, you know, maybe some positioning kind of issues to work out. Really had to get on the same page in terms of powerhouses. When you have two great scorers like Fear the Nub and Michael, you know, they're both killers. They're both always wanting to be on the attack, and sometimes you got to be willing to give up that pass, and we see that here. But here's Frozen Heart trying to make the attempt, but it's Fear the Nub able to sprint back on defense, get the stop, and will they even convert it? They managed to do just that. Another great play coming through by Fear the Nub. You can see this transition from defense to offense really setting them apart. Michael's there just in case he needed to get that touch. Didn't need to, however, as that one was sent towards that left side post. 3-goal lead now for Double Trouble. 3-0 in this best of 3. Fear the Nub looking to open something up, but it's a great aggressive play from Moldatu, and just like that, Frozen Heart is going to get on the board. Fear the Nub maybe getting a little too comfortable, too relaxed with that 3-goal lead, and Moldatu has an opportunity there to show us what he's made of. Still plenty of time left on the clock, but Michael is aiming at 7 goals. He say we only need 3 now. It doesn't matter what the clock says. If we hit 7 goals, we'll be moving on to game number 2. So a great kickoff from Double Trouble. It's going to get them 1 goal closer. Does Frozen Heart have the response? That's what we're going to have to see here. It's an offensive kickoff for Double Trouble. Thankfully, Moldatu is there to contest. Get in Double Trouble's face just a bit. Try to get a little physical. A great shot attempt from Michael. Going to go just a little bit wide with a nice save from the orange team. Now, can they convert with that demo coming through? Fear the Nub is up off that backboard. Able to get the redirect, and now Michael is in for the scoop. Popping this one up, drops that one down. He has Fear the Nub waiting in the wings for the pass, but a great little touch from Frozen Heart will shut that play down. We have Double Trouble, tries to get something set up yet again, but it's another great defensive play from Frozen Heart. With slow on the offense, but Michael able to get the hat trick with this sweep through the sidewall, wins the 50, goes right back up for it for the insurance policy. It's 5-1 now in our first game of the day. I have to say, Double Trouble really looks like they focus up after that previous qualifier, really starting to iron things out in their gameplay. Ball's going to be slowed down in the blue pitch corner, but it's a pass from Michael over to Fear the Nub. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication onto whether that was a pass or a clear. So the double commit will mean that the blue team is slightly out of position, and Frozen Heart is able to make a defensive stop because of that. Possession will remain with Double Trouble for a brief moment. Michael tries to keep this play going off the sidewall. The offense is going to be slowed down yet again. Moldatu being a great defensive stopper in the back line for Frozen Heart. Fear the Nub will attempt a shot across the front of that goal, but ultimately, play's not going to go anywhere. Unfortunately, this one's going towards the net. Can we get the stop? A little bit of an unfortunate own goal there, as a disastrous angle turns into a goal for Frozen Heart. But with 2 minutes left to play, there's still an opportunity for Frozen Heart to get back in this one. See Fear the Nub trying to get back there to stop that one from going in, but no dice on that play. That one will go towards Frozen Heart. So 5-2 now in favor of Double Trouble, as we are just now under 2 minutes. And oh my God, Fear the Nub with a disgusting little pinch over the defense. Drops down right onto this one. Moldatu almost has the touch, but it's a great play from Fear to get us 1 goal away from our 7 goals to win marker. And see how this kickoff plays out. It's a 50 that's just about even. It's a touch from Fear the Nub, but Moldatu was there yet again for another great save on defense. Rolling carry tries to get this one going, sent down range, but it's going to be a slight miss, which is going to slow down Frozen Heart just a bit. They are now forced to reposition, but it's Michael trying to find the goal, and he is able to get it by both defenders to make it a 7-2 victory in game number 1 here against Frozen Heart. Double Trouble really showing us that they can score those goals just like Dotes, but then they continue to perform in this series. We will have to find out. That concludes game number 1. Frozen Heart tried to pick things up a little bit towards the end there, but unfortunately, Double Trouble just too close to those 7 goals to make anything come from it. We'll have to see if they can recover in game number 2. All right, so here we go. Game number 2 in our first semifinal best of 3 is about to get started. It was a dominant performance from Double Trouble, hitting that 7-goal marker. Frozen Heart being iced out to only 2 goals. We'll have to see if Double Trouble can continue that pace. That shot from Michael going to go just a little bit wide on the net. Fear the Nub is up high trying to get the knockdown and goal, but going to go wide as well. Michael hustling to keep this one in the orange side of the pitch. It's a beautiful pass over to Fear the Nub, and the teamwork is on point today here for Double Trouble. You can see that angle, beautiful in that corner. He's able to pick that one up with the hood of the car. Fear the Nub is waiting in the air to secure the goal. Double Trouble off to a hot start here in the first 30 seconds of play. And it looks like it's going to continue into this kickoff again. Ball into the orange side of the pitch, and Frozen Heart has seen this one before. So they are trying to get those clears. Rolling carry. Nice flick off the sidewall. Tries to center that ball up, but Michael is waiting, and he is able to get the goal yet again. Michael really stepping things up here in our 4th qualifier. I'm just excited to see if Dotes will meet them yet again in our bracket. But for the time being, Double Trouble out to a 2-goal lead early here against Frozen Heart. I really think if Frozen Heart can start to get some of this offense going, they'll be in a better spot. But Fear the Nub able to get that light little touch. Moldatu is up for it, tries to stop the first offensive play from coming through, and it's just a little bit too high for Rolling Carry to get up to contest. It's going to be 3-0 yet again for Double Trouble. A similar start to what we saw in game number 1. But this was when Frozen Heart started to heat up just a little bit. We'll have to see if there's any gas left in the tank. It's another offensive play, but a great save from Moldatu able to drop down on that one, stop the goal from coming through. Fortunately, Double Trouble still has possession of this ball, so Michael is going to score yet again, 4 goals to nothing now, as Frozen Heart just struggles to get their offense going. You know, it's really off the back of some of these great kickoffs that Double Trouble have really been orchestrating as a team. And it is just 2s, but they are covering a lot of this pitch with the way that they are playing. A lot of teamwork coming through, and there you see it yet again. The assist from Fear the Nub leads to another Michael hat trick. It's a great defensive attempt there. You could see it, but unfortunately, just too much oomph on that ball. Means that it's going to stay in the orange side of the pitch, and Double Trouble is going to be able to secure that goal. They're marching towards 7 at a rapid pace at this point. Fear the Nub is up yet again. Michael might even have another shot attempt, tries to bounce it over the defender, but that one is going to go wide. We'll have to see. Frozen Heart with a great little offensive push here. Fear the Nub caught slightly off guard. You can see the fight in Frozen Heart trying to make this play happen. The double commit onto that one. It's centered up on the net, but unfortunately Fear the Nub is there to take that one away. Going to slow this play down just a bit. Sees one defender ahead of him. To be able to secure that corner boost. Great touch from Moldatu. Will clear that one away yet again. Michael attempts the pinch off the sidewall, but unfortunately that one is floating towards the blue side of the pitch, so it's a scramble at the midfield line. Michael, however, manages to come out unscathed, tries to get this offense going, but Frozen Heart is picking things up here. But again, it's a question of, is it too little too late? Double Trouble has a nice cushion, a solid goal lead. They just have to play the clock at this point, but Michael says, you know what? Screw the clock. Let's just get to 7 goals and get to the grand finals. They want redemption here in today's qualifier. It's really been looking tough for Frozen Heart to get anything going. Double Trouble really just snuffing out all options that Frozen Heart has tried to get started on offense, and it's another kickoff win. Double Trouble just staying with this one, keeping the pressure on. It's another one at the crossbar, almost closes the game out then and there, but it's a great save for the orange team. Fear the Nub, however, decent stack of boost, has the sidewall play, but rolling carry, gonna get physical. Demo onto Michael, force him on that respawn, but right off that respawn, Michael is there to intercept that clear. Thankfully, Moldatu getting a little aggressive now, has typically been that defensive insurance policy for Frozen Heart, but has inched his way up. Unfortunately, that might mean he's out of position for this offensive play. Thankfully, he's able to recover that aerial play. Not gonna produce much for Double Trouble. Ball will stay in the orange corner. Michael gets a little touch and it floats right over the defender. The 7-0 victory for Double Trouble is starting to show us shades of Dotes at this point, as we did see 2 7-0 victories out of them last tournament, and Double Trouble is really starting to say, anything you can do, I can do better. So it's a dominant performance yet again for Double Trouble. They will move swiftly on to the grand finals. You can really see the teamwork coming through from Michael and Fear the Nub there. Glitter Explosion. I know you were watching that one. Honestly, it flew by. I am kind of shocked, but I think Double Trouble has really seen what Dotes was doing and said, yeah, we can handle that.
I mean, first of all, kudos on the cast, okay?
Oh, we're chilling.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
That was great. And I couldn't agree with that more. I felt like we saw moments from Frozen Heart in that first game, right? They were able to get some goals on the board. They looked like they had a little bit of a flow, but you could sense that Double Trouble wanted to, you said it yourself, they just wanted to be done. They want to get to finals.
Like,
they want the rematch. That's what I feel like, okay? They're now waiting to see who's going to make it through the next semifinals. But we're going to get to that in just a moment. For now, we're going to send it to a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Don't let anyone tell you there are things we cannot change. We've done hard things before. We'll face hard things again, but we're doing it. Thousands of people will live simply because a whole bunch of people in here keep making medicine better. So if anyone ever tells you there's no other way, don't listen. We find a way. Mount Sinai.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final qualifier in our Adaptive Esports tournament. We just had our first semifinals matchup of the day, and I'm not going to lie, Nubble Trouble are looking pretty strong right now.
Well, so I was even thinking about it during the break, and I'd have to go back and check, but I think that's the exact same score that we saw
from last time?
Dotes do last time. If not exact, very similar, because I remember us talking about 2 7-goal victories, and I know there was at least one 7-0 victory that they managed to pull off. So it's feeling very poetic here in our final qualifier. And as you can see, looking at this kind of how things are shaking out, right, in this tournament, it's feeling a little bit similar. We had the 2-0 sweeps. Can Dotes do it again against Nerve Damage? We've seen them last qualifier as well. There was a new team as well. So it's all feeling very similar, but we'll have to see. Again, in that grand final, you have Nubble Trouble waiting for their opponents, and we're going to get to see Dotes play again here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting. Frozen Heart down there waiting in the third, fourth playoff matchup as well. And this second semifinals match is going to set the stage for a lot. Not just what happens in this qualifier's grand finals, but the storylines we talked about at the top of the show, whether that's what's going on with the leaderboard,
right,
what's going on with potential finals, like way down the road. I mean, a lot is about to happen in this one semifinals matchup alone.
Yeah, because there is that nice kind of holiday break built in, but if I'm one of the teams that might not qualify, we'll take a look at the end, kind of see where that dust settles with the 7 teams that do qualify for the grand finals. They'll have time to essentially train, level up their game, study their opponents, but the players who need to qualify through that LCQ, like we mentioned at the top, it's just the first place team that will qualify for the grand finals. There will still be prize payout, but it's like who's not going to make the cut, right? Because all these teams have been performing so well, but who's going to be sitting right on that cusp, and who might be looking for, you know, a little revenge or trying to work their way back in, feels a little bit slighted. It could be teams even that might shuffle their rosters a bit. There's a lot that can happen.
See, I was even going to say, even if Nubble Trouble don't stay at the top of the leaderboard after today,
right,
at that point, they would still be in a safer spot heading towards finals.
Correct.
Then it becomes just kind of like a like you said, like a little bit of a revenge tour. If they get knocked out of first after having been in first for 3 qualifiers now, I mean, come January, they're going to want to seriously bounce back. But semifinals match number 2 is ready to go, so we get to see how all of it's going to play out now.
And I am excited to get into this one. We get to see Dotes play again, but now these teams should be ready for their opponents, knowing that play style. We even kind of talked to Solitude in that interview, and he likes to hang back. He likes to kind of read the field and let Disbel go out and do work, and Disbel is doing just that, but they've got a little bit of a pass play. Thankfully, Handicapped is there with the stop, with the save, and sends that one down immediately. The orange side of the pitch, but Handicapped recognizing that nothing really productive able to come from that one, so he's pulling back, letting Pop Clutch try to get something started. Dotes now trying to transition into offense in a bit of a fight. The midfield line, Solitude here able to get a slight clear off the sidewall. It's going to be a 50-50. He goes under his opponent, but thankfully Handicap coming back yet again to secure that save. But Disbel now trying to get aggressive in the net. Blue team, Nerve Damage still looking for a clear. Solitude still keeping the pressure on. Yep, Pop Clutch sending that one back to the blue corner. Disbel, though, is keeping this play alive. Even manages to snipe away that corner boost, so he's got the full tank. Now he's trying to reposition. It's a little touch into the blue corner. It's a flip reset off the post. Not going to connect. Solitude there for the follow-up, but doesn't have the angle. Pop Clutch looks for the demo onto Solitude to get his offense started. Right in off that respawn, Disbel is up to get the stop, and Solitude back in the game and back in the action. Almost has the double touch to get that goal, but Handicap is there for the save yet again. And oh my goodness, that post is the third member on defense, but as that one drops down, Disbel able to secure that goal to get Dotes in the lead. A nice little play. Dotes picking things up right where they left off, but a little bit of a slower start if you compare it to Double Trouble in that first semifinal. Nerve Damage putting on the pressure with some offense of their own, making sure Dotes doesn't have as much room to breathe as they might like, but Disbel is up. It's off the backboard. It's a double touch, but it drops down right into Handicap's hands. He sends that one coast to coast, and it's going to be Handicapped with the tying goal. It's a great little thought from Dotes, trying to get that double touch off the backboard, but perfect positioning out of Nerve Damage is the equalizer. And Disbel takes that one personally right off the rip. A huge kickoff in favor of Dotes, but not able to score that early goal that he was looking for. This might allow Pop Clutch to get something going, but Disbel again really accelerating here. You can see just the determination with which he is playing. It's going to be the leading goal now for Dotes. Disbel able to take that one right off the hood of the car, and with one single touch turns it into a goal. Disbel allowing Solitude to kind of fall into that role of the background analyzer, looking for those openings and those plays that other players might miss. Here's a great kickoff for Nerve Damage. Unfortunately, that one going to get taken away from Disbel yet again. Handicapped, however, has been the savior of Nerve Damage, keeping this one close with yet another save. And here he goes, trying to convert this one into an offensive play. It's a good little touch off that corner that centers the ball up, but Pop Clutch just a little bit slow to that one. Means that play will not result in a goal, and Dotes has an opportunity here as Handicap slightly overextends, has to hustle back on defense. Pop Clutch does a great job redirecting that one. Disbel recognizes that and backs off on defense as well. Solitude, however, getting in the mix. A little bit of a fight, a 2v1. Pop Clutch will take that one away, but Disbel manages to take it right back now. The aerial off the ceiling, off the backboard. Is Solitude there for the cleanup? No, Pop Clutch is there for the clear, so that one will be sent down the Dotes side of the pitch. You have Disbel battling in the corner yet again. Almost a 50-50, resulted into another tying goal for Nerve Damage. Disbel has to hustle back, is able to get that save. Pop Clutch now and Handicap both trying to get into the defensive line of that ball. Manages to do so, stops that attempt from Disbel, and I think this is really going to be what the uphill battle is for Dotes at this point. When Disbel is your main offensive threat, it's very easy to read those offensive plays. So I like what they're doing here, trying to get Solitude into the mix just a little bit more. And that's at least been keeping it close for Nerve Damage. Again, Dotes hanging on by a thread here with the 1-goal lead. Disbel going to receive this one, and he is up for it. Tries to get the drop down. It's a double commit on defense from Nerve Damage that results in a nice, healthy clear for them. Now this ball is back and forth. The demo will come through from Pop Clutch, and Disbel knows he is on his own for the time being. Has the wrap back around, another touch, but the double commit from the Nerve Damage defense manages to make the save yet again. Now just trailing by 1:25 seconds left to play. It's still in the blue side of the pitch. Disbel getting a little bit desperate. Someone caught up in that net might mean the defense is out of position. Dotes tries to find this goal, but handicapped again with the save. Disbel simply cannot get this one by him, but there is Solitude with the solid follow-up to give Dotes just enough cushion with 9 seconds left to play. Really impressed with the way Solitude has just been playing this one, letting Disbel kind of do his thing, but always trying to find those angles to help his teammate out. It's a pretty even kickoff there. The ball is down. Nerve Damage desperately needs a goal, but with this one rolling along the grass in Solitude's possession, it might just be the end of this game. Disbel even look for another one here. Okay, Disbel putting a little flourish in at the end to secure the 4-1 victory. But I do have to say, looks like some of these teams are starting to figure out Dote's strategy and able to counterattack that. However, that offensive pressure from Dotes proving to be too much in game number 1, so they will secure that victory in 4-1 fashion as we move forward to game number 2. All right, here we go. The engines are revving for game number 2. And I gotta say, Nerve Damage really keeping pace up until the very end there. Of course, we saw Disbel putting a little cherry on top with the 0-second goal, but let's see how they adjust in game number 2. Again, Disbel being that offensive threat. 14 shot attempts in that previous game. Handicapped managed to save 8 of them. But still, that kind of one note from Dotes seems to be slowing down as their opponents kind of know what to expect, but we saw Solitude getting in the mix, being that surprise factor, that surprise threat on offense. Let's see if that continues here in game number 2. This one's up, floating right past the defenders, mixing up the speed of those shots. Disbel showing us that he's still got a few tricks up his sleeve as this light little chip shot is going to find the net. Next kickoff here, slightly in favor of Dotes and right into the hands of Disbel. Solitude, potential follow-up, but going to be just high up off that backboard, and Disbel learning from those mistakes in that previous game, not going to allow that one to convert for Nerve Damage. Solitude trying to get some mustard on that ball towards the Nerve Damage side of the pitch. Just a fight for positioning at this point. This one's going to bounce off the Dotes backboard. Handicapped attempting to get under it, but gets tied up a little bit, and that means Pop Clutch is the only one left on defense. Unfortunately, just not able to predict what Disbel is going to throw at him. It means it's Dotes with an early 2-goal victory here. And that's the threat that Dotes has as well. You know, we talk about that offense, how it mainly centers around Disbel. They're still able to make those adjustments on defense, find those passing plays when they need to, really start to figure out their opponents themselves. And Disbel, right from the kickoff, textbook, going to be able to carry that one in for the hat trick off that side wall. The aerial control, just so impressive out of Disbel. What's interesting here and what we need to keep in mind is how Double Trouble, waiting in the grand finals, was looking much more aggressive than we saw Dotes looking here in our second semifinal. So will that come into play? Dotes taking things a little bit more slowly, a little bit more methodical here today against Nerve Damage, but of course, handicapped being so good on defense is surely factoring in there. Here's Disbel with the possession, with the dribble, recognizes 2 members of Nerve Damage have commit onto him, so he's going to back off, reposition, and wrap around. Solitude fighting for this 50. He's going to send it up against that side wall. Handicap has the play, but doesn't have the boost, and Disbel has the steal, finding that angle, able to convert it into a goal. You see a little bit of a touch from Handicap there, trying to send it over for that passing play to Pop Clutch. However, Pop Clutch had rotated back into that blue side corner for the boost, so was out of position to receive that pass, and Disbel able to instantly recognize that and convert it into a goal. It's 4-0 now, and let's quickly make that 5-0. as Disbel finds another kickoff goal against his opponent. Solitude able to win that 50, set it up spinning on that midfield line. Disbel comes right through to make it 5-0. Much different pace of play than we saw in game number 1, as Dotes really starting to pick things up here in game number 2, looking to shut this one down and move on to the grand finals, where Double Trouble is waiting for their rematch. Can Disbel and Dotes close it out here? Zakari up off the ceiling, but thankfully Nerve Damage comes through aggressively to get that clear, send this one down to the orange side of the pitch. Can they get some offense going themselves? No. Solitude is there to snake that one away. Disbel has the pickup in the blue side corner, is up the aerial, tries to drop it down, but it's another great defensive touch from Handicap to slow down that play. Solitude has the pinch off the corner, but it's right into Nerve Damage's hands. Thankfully, Disbel rotated back, able to slow that one down, and now he's making a move himself. Another great save by Pop Clutch to stop the Disbel from connecting to the net with that shot. This one's a fight in front of Dote's net. Disbel desperately trying to get this clear. Solitude has it, has to wrap around. Disbel has the touch, has the boost, gets it under 1, gets it under 2, and Solitude is there for the goal. Beautiful teamwork play here. You see Disbel with the pass under. Solitude gonna make sure his opponent can't get back to send that one to the corner. And Dotes is now sitting on match point. We can close it out right here with one more goal, and Nerve Damage has a mountain to climb if they want to force a game number 3. Handicapped, unfortunately, with no boost, has to reposition, and Disbel with a full tank is trying to make a play. Solitude has the follow-up, but again, it's a little off target. Disbel wrapping right back around, tries to keep the play alive, tries to close it out here, but the clock is on their side. Pop Clutch will have the touch at the midfield line, but again, they have to get the ball by Disbel, who continues to just swipe this one away and take to the skies, dropping this one down. Solitude, again, just a slight miss, but a great attempt from Dotes. 1 minute left to play, and guess who has possession yet again, dropping this one over to Disbel. What it's starting to look like, they're starting to warm up for their opponents right now. They know that Double Trouble has worked on their teamwork, and they're just getting some practice passing plays in. This one going to be floating in front of the blue net. A lot of respect being shown, as neither one of these teams wants to overextend. Disbel will pick up that midfield boost. Solitude tries to get a touch centered up for Disbel, but nothing going to come of that. 25 seconds left to play. Nerve Damage just trying to get on the board at this point. Pop Clutch makes a good attempt. His teammate Handicap trying to sit back on D, stop Dotes from getting that nail in the coffin goal. 10 seconds remaining, and it's all but locked away for Dotes at this point in time. Looks like they will be moving on to the grand finals to yet again face Double Trouble. And you know what? Disbel says, let's make this one a little bit unique. The 0-second goal, yet again, in the second game, will seal this one away, 7-0. Whether you want to call that one regulation or the 7-point rule, all that matters is Dotes has moved on to the grand finals yet again. Now, this is where things get interesting, because Double Trouble looked a little bit more aggressive, and I would have said that after that first game in semifinal number 2, but after seeing that second semifinal game, I think all that's going to happen is sparks are going to fly in the grand finals.
I can't believe what I just watched at the end there. That was, okay, first of all, not talking about the incredible performance that Disbel just put on.
Sure.
I feel like both of those actually were very similar, both of our semifinals matches. The first game was a little bit slower. Everybody kind of had to find their rhythm, and both Double Trouble and, yeah, okay, we'll say Dotes.
Sure.
Disbel, but Disbel, yeah. Once they got going, they just kind of went on a tear, like snowballed once they got some seriously good goals under their belt, once they kind of like had a little bit of time in the game. And the difference between even just game 1 and game 2 was huge.
I really think that's part of what makes Dotes so effective is we saw the slower game number 1, but Dotes is able to kind of just exhaust their opponents in a way by that constant offensive pressure that, yeah, you might be prepared in game number 1, but can you maintain that throughout an entire series is really what the question, begs to be asked, essentially. So it's looking interesting. I think Dotes, towards the end of that game number 2, looking for some of those passing plays too. They've kind of recognized that we're going to need to fully round out our game if we want to continue to perform at the top. And, Double Trouble had that with their 2 7-goal wins. So, yeah, I really think it's going to be a tough to predict grand finals for sure.
I'm excited to get into it, so we're going to try to do that as quickly as possible. We're going to send it to another short break, and when we return, the grand finals of our 4th qualifier. All right, everybody, welcome back to qualifier number 4 of our Adaptive Esports tournament. We just wrapped up both of our semifinals matches. Our grand finals are right around the corner, and after the 2 performances we just saw out of both winners of those semifinals, it's going to be a slog in the finals.
It's going to be crazy. Again, it's the rematch. I'm sure Double Trouble wants the revenge. They looked really dominant in semifinal number 1 against Frozen Heart, but can they keep that up against Dotes? Dotes just seemed to, by the end of that second semifinal, kind of reminded us who they are in a way. We were kind of talking about how they looked a little slow in game number 1, but were able to pick up the pace right away when they wanted to close it out in game number 2. So I really think it's going to be a close match, definitely early on, but I'm kind of predicting Dotes to be able to pull away again, just like they did in that second semifinal.
Oh, you think they're going to continue that snowball?
I think so.
Okay. All right. And then, of course, we also have Frozen Heart and Nerve Damage playing in that 3rd, 4th playoff match while we go do our finals. And then for you guys in chat, we've got one more giveaway, okay? Exclamation point AET in chat for another chance to win this amazing Logitech G prize bundle. All right, we're going to be doing these every single time when your stuff gets some free cool Logi gear. I love it. I'm not gonna lie though, I use all of that and it's fantastic.
I was just curious how long the song was gonna go on. I was just gonna let you rock with it
because it was festive, but that I didn't want to.
Yeah, there was like a slight jingle bell coming through there, but I'm glad we kind of put the kibosh on that one. Not gonna lie, but yeah, all those products have used them and amazing. So again, yeah, thank you to Logitech G for that awesome giveaway, and good luck to all of those in chat entering right now. But yeah, we kind of talked about this grand final, what's on the line, the history here. I have to say, Double Trouble, I'll put it this way, they look prepared for Dotes going into this one. I still think I'm going to give the slight advantage to Dotes just from the history perspective. I think Disbel has more in the tank, can show us more. He's proven that he can kind of show us different looks, change things up. Really impressive in that previous qualifier that we saw with him, but the teamwork now coming through with Solitude, I think it's going to be a little scary.
Yeah, today Disbel's on a little bit of a tear, so I'm excited to see what he can do in the grand finals because they are ready to go. So Frank, I hope you're ready too.
I am so ready to get into this one and just see. I might just be quiet, sit back and watch and let this one play out. It might be an ASMR stream from this point on where you just hear me kind of grunting and groaning with all the awesome plays that are happening, but I don't want to put anyone through that. So we'll just leave it textbook for the time being. Pretty even start for either side here. Double Trouble and Dotes. Again, this is a best of 5, so we'll get a little extra Rocket League regardless of what happens. Fear the Nub. Trying to get a little aggressive there against Dismal. Solitude is in the back with the pickup. Michael, however, on defense manages to get the demo onto Dismal. That'll slow him down just a bit, but can they convert into offense before Dismal gets back on the pitch? This one is at the net, and it's Double Trouble striking first against Dotes. Beautiful play set up here by Fear the Nub. You can see Dismal off that respawn, tried to get up towards it, sent towards that opposite post, and that one's going to connect. So now the question is, how does Dotes play from behind? We've rarely seen them trailing at all since Dismal has been added to the Solitude roster, and even getting a little aggressive, trying to bump Solitude out of the way. And of course, Dismal takes that one a little bit personally. He's going to pick that one up, get revenge for his teammate as you saw him screaming into the orange corner. But Dismal right there in that 1v1 scenario, making things tough for Fear the Nub to play defense. And that's just the threat that Dismal has there down on the pitch. So we're tied up at 1. Just about a minute played here in our first game of the grand final. And it's Solitude right off the rip with the passing play from Dismal. And this is where things get scary because Dote's starting to set things up. Solitude has been kind of quiet, you know, even when we talk to him. He's kind of saying, like, you know, I'm more of a passive player. I'm going to let Dismal go out there and get aggressive. Well, a little bit of a bait and switch there coming through as Solitude is the one getting aggressive on that play, and that's going to get Dotes the lead. Pose the question of how would they respond, and they responded in about 6 seconds, taking that lead away from Double Trouble. But Double Trouble not done fighting just yet. Plenty of Rocket League left to play. Dismal again. This is what's... Okay, it went from scary to terrifying. Look at these passing plays coming through from Dotes. You have Dismal with the touch. Michael tries to reposition for that save, just trying to get in the way of that shot, but it's perfectly executed by Dotes to get them now the 2-goal lead. Michael with possession in the 50 against Dismal does manage to win those. And if Double Trouble starts to rely on those 50-50s from Michael, he is definitely proficient at winning a lot of those, so that could be kind of the key that unlocks the Double Trouble offense. Here's Dismal caught on the midfield line. Fear the Nub is up for it, but a good contest from Solitude will send that one off course. Ball still in the Dotes corner of the pitch. Dismal trying to get the clear, but Michael's there, but the crossbar going to knock that one right down. Dismal now with the pickup, a nice little stop, stopping on a dime. Gets it by one defender, but thankfully Michael there with the touch. He has to hustle back on defense, but Michael going to be able to carry that one into the Dotes net to get them within 1. Still trailing by a goal, but Double Trouble clearly prepared for their opponents this time around. No easy task in front of Dotes at this point in time. Fear the Nub is up off the sidewall. It's a beautiful passing play to Michael, who's right there to tie us up at 3s. And just look at the way this one is set up. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. Perfect passing play from Double Trouble, and now we're all squared away halfway through our first game. It's getting dicey for either side. Michael, however, does have possession, and he's been feeling it. The ball centered up. Fear the Nub, though, recognizing Dismal has possession, has to try to get back on defense. Gets it over 1, tries to get the pop-up. Can Solitude knock this one in? Beautiful attempt there, but won't produce a goal for Dotes. Now Double Trouble has an opportunity. Dismal is hustled back on defense, is going to steal this one away, ride this one up the sidewall in that corner. The great defensive play from Fear the Nub will slow Dotes down. Solitude is there, though, with a clear attempt. That leaves just Dismal back on defense. Michael now with that corner crosses it up. Fear the Nub not able to catch that one, and it's a double commit from Dotes to get this one across the midfield line. In the Double Trouble corner now. Fear the Nub is up for the 50. For Solitude is there for the pickup. Michael, however, is up and away with the save. Now Disbel, only man back on defense. And an amazing save from Disbel there. Double Trouble flirting with the lead at this point. Again, on the orange side of the pitch, Double Trouble able to keep possession here, which many teams cannot do against Dotes, so it's admirable in its own right. Oh no, there's a little bit of a touch from Disbel, gonna get the lead right back. See how this one shakes out. A little bit of a miscommunication really there, kind of Disbel and Solitude bumping into each other, but the great aerial control from Disbel, able to angle that car to secure that goal. It's gonna give Dotes the lead. We're just under a minute 30 left to play. Double Trouble has been hanging right in this one, but it's maybe similar to what we saw in that second semi-final, where Dotes is able to just wear their opponents down with that relentless offense. But Double Trouble has really been able to go shot for shot here in the first game. Great clear from Michael. Disbel will rotate for the touch. But seeing that Double Trouble offense set up, he opts to wrap back, but does get demoed. Thankfully, Fear the Nub slowed this one down, so that'll allow Disbel to respawn in unscathed. Double Trouble desperately looking for the tying goal. Disbel does manage to get the demo onto Michael. Fear the Nub manages to slow down Dotes for the time being, so they don't get that power play goal. 30 seconds remaining. Michael is up with the ball on the sidewall, tries to get this one into the Dotes corner. Fear the Nub is up off the ceiling. That one's going to be bouncing down. Michael going to miss that touch. Both players flying, and Fear the Nub is there. He's able to position himself off that misplay to secure the tying goal. 4-4 now with 16 seconds to play in our first game. Neck and neck as we go into the final seconds of play. Dotes able to slightly edge out the kickoff. 10 seconds remaining. Disbel now looking for the touch. Can he make something happen, or will we go to overtime? Michael does have the steal. Can he stay up for it? Thankfully, Solitude gets this one knocked away, and we'll be going to overtime. Now in overtime, we'll be slogging away until a goal is scored. Michael has the initial touch. Disbel has the defense. With that 50, not a great position, so he'll back away and wrap back around. Solitude trying to get something started. Disbel is there to contest. Has to fend off Michael and Fear the Nub. Nub able to take that one away. Solitude gets the bump, gets the boost. Michael is underneath this one, and it's going to be Double Trouble, taking game number 1 away from Dotes. Just a beautifully executed passing play from Fear the Nub in the final moments. And that's where Double Trouble really starts to be a threat. That teamwork coming through. There was shades of it in our previous qualifier. However, they have really locked things in as a team. It pays dividends here as they take the Game 1 lead in our Qualifier 4 Grand Final. All right, here we go, getting into game number 2 of our Grand Finals. And it wouldn't be an Adaptive Esports tournament if I didn't put my foot in my mouth at least once. And Double Trouble making sure I eat my words here as I talked up Dotes earlier, but that teamwork, that perseverance paying off here in game number 1. They have the 1-game lead in this series. We'll have to see now how Dotes is able to respond. It's going to be a tough battle on the blue side of the pitch as Disbel fights for an opening against this tough Double Trouble defense. Solitude trying to slow things down, managed to get the flick pass, Fear the Nub, but Michael is there for the stop. Disbel, however, has it. It's off the backboard, tries to go for the double tap, but Solitude is there as that one drops right into his lap. And it's Dotes with the early lead here. I like what I'm seeing. Been great defense from Double Trouble, really focusing on Disbel, trying to shut down those attempts, and Solitude has been filling in those gaps perfectly, able to find those goals. So now we'll see As Dote's able to start to pick up this momentum, get things going their way. This game number 1 was a tough battle, no doubt. The answer, however, from Fear the Nub is there right off the kickoff. Ties us right back up at ones. You can see Solitude with the nice little touch. Michael did have the play, try to center that one up. Fear the Nub with that slight delay, lets that one drop in front of him and pulls 2 of those defenders away for an open net. Nice goal from Nubble Trouble. Another great kickoff for Nubble Trouble. That one's up and over Dismal, and it's Michael. Back-to-back goals within seconds for Nubble Trouble. The revenge tour playing out right before our very eyes. Nubble Trouble here, looking solid against Dotes. Definitely able to adjust and adapt from that previous grand final where they faced these opponents. And oh, the crossbar, a great defender for Nubble Trouble. And again, Michael up for the save. Dismal being shut down in front of the net, but he's got the ball yet again and he's ready to go to work. But it's Fear the Nub this time, stopping Dotes from scoring that goal. His 3rd time the charm. Crossbar, however, going to come into effect yet again. Dotes starting to look desperate there on their shot attempts on offense. That'll allow Nubble Trouble to have possession of the ball ever so slightly, as now Dismal is off to the races into the blue side corner. However, Fear the Nub is there with the clear. A bump from Michael will force Solitude back and stop some of that offense from getting going. However, here comes Dismal, trying to pick up every single boost on his way to slow down Nubble Trouble, as they still have that 1-goal lead as we near the 3-minute mark. Dismal now has possession in the orange side of the pitch, but it's Fear the Nub trying to get the wrap tap back into Michael. Michael able to contest, force the 50-50. Now Dismal has the boost, that one bouncing. Slight miss from Michael, almost works out in their favor as Dismal was predicting the touch. There's another great knock away by Fear the Nub. The pass play comes over to Michael, but Dismal all over the field now, intercepting that one. The pass over to Solitude, however, gonna go just wide right. Players will scramble for position at midfield. Dismal trying to go for the cheeky little fake. Not going to work, however. So Michael was there with the touch. Fear the Nub, thankfully, getting the headlight on that ball and to slow down that attempt. And there's the 50-50 battle at midfield. Michael, however, is able to send this one over towards Solitude. Forces Dismal to chase this one down. He's up off the ceiling. It's off the backboard. It's over to Solitude. It's up and it's way too high. Dismal, however, tries to get the knock down, unable to do so as Michael is there. Michael now looking to contest yet again. Love how he's just getting in the way of Dismal, not allowing him to simply get his game going, making sure he's in the way, in between Dismal and the net. It's been working out for Nubble Trouble. Uh-oh, Fear the Nub, a slight little misplay, just slightly misjudging the angle on that one. Means we're gonna be tied up again at the minute 30 mark. Nice awareness again from Solitude to kind of get back on that play, wrap around, and some unfortunate little mishap from Fear the Nub there, but now it's about how you recover. Can you shake that one off and get your head right back in the game? And that one straight at the net, but not enough zip to get that one past Dismal. Great contest from Fear the Nub. Looks like he shaked that one off okay, but Solitude able to shake that one away from Fear the Nub. Dismal now with possession, but doesn't have boost, so he's going to be forced to slow down, grab one of those pads, and get back to work. However, in that meantime, Nubble Trouble managed to get that clear. Boost being stolen away from Fear the Nub will again slow down this offensive push. Michael's there trying to keep the play alive. 12 boost in the tank for Fear the Nub, and it's all expired at this point. Thankfully, Michael has rotated back on defense. Solitude has the offensive touch for Dotes. It's centered up on net. It's Michael with the redirect. Now in the corner, Dismal fighting for this one. Seems to have possession. Nub is up for it, and oh, Dismal with the dunk to take the lead 3-2. Love what I saw out of Dismal on this play. Has the shot attempt, sends the ball towards the net, and then starts gunning for Fear the Nub. to take him out of that defensive play. A great heads up look from Disbel and Dotes will get them the lead with 30 seconds left to play. Now we'll have to see what Nubble Trouble has planned for us. Solitude has the touch into the Nubble Trouble blue corner. Fear the Nub with some solid positioning. However, Disbel is up. Doesn't have any boost, so Michael's going to be able to get the steal. Solitude, the great takeaway with that rip. Don't think we're going to see an OT in this one unless Nubble Trouble can get something. Keep this one up in the air. We're going to hit 0 seconds. Can Michael get under this? The ball is up, but it is down, and Dotes will take game number 2 to tie us up at 1 in this grand final. Game number 3 here in our grand final. Best of 5. All squared away at 1 apiece. As sparks are flying between these two duos, who will come out on top? Both seemingly have studied each other, knowing what their tendencies are. It's now a rock, paper, scissors of counterplay and rotations coming through here in our grand final. Both teams now not wanting to overcommit. They know how dire this situation can get, giving away this pivotal game number 3. Ball's going to be floating in front of that blue side of the pitch. Solitude with a touch, and it rolls away, but Disbel is there. The high-flying antics coming through to sneak this goal in for Dotes. See how close that one was from bouncing out, and Disbel wanting to get ahead of that one. They're able to get on the board first. Again, I think it is one of those scenarios where Dotes feels much more comfortable playing with the lead, as evidenced by that previous game in this series. And with that early goal lead here, we'll see if they can continue that momentum forward to take the lead. Disbel, a little bit off balance with that one. Be forced to land and reposition. Fear the Nub trying to get this one off the sidewall. Unfortunately, Solitude is there for the takeaway. Fear the Nub now getting back in position in this corner will steal away that boost. Disbel winning that 50 in dominant fashion. He has Michael there. Oh, Fear the Nub misses that touch, so could have been a beautiful little pass back to Michael to keep that offense going at high speed, but going to be forced to adjust now. Oh, and Fear the Nub. That one's going to sneak right underneath him. Thankfully, Michael was able to hustle back on defense. Here we see Michael up for it and able to float that one over Solitude. Not sure if Solitude expected that one to connect with the crossbar or the backboard, but Michael just up early enough with that touch and has just the right angle to secure that goal. So we are tied up at 1s across the board. 1 apiece in the series. And a goal each here in game number 3 of the grand final. Michael now will be fighting for this one in front of the Dotes net. Disbel getting demoed. Love the aggression from Fear the Nub, stopping that play dead in its tracks. Solitude being forced to get aggressive, thankfully wins that 50. Allows his teammate to get back in on that map. Now trying to contest in that corner. Michael has a great angle. The pass over to Fear the Nub will send it into the Dotes corner. And Solitude with the revenge play onto Fear the Nub will get that demo. The slow down Nubble Trouble's offense this time. Now it's Disbel. Front of the blue net, has a slight touch, and it's a great save coming through off that crossbar to get the redirect to stop Dotes from taking the lead. Now can the blue team get something going for themselves? Can they counterattack? Michael trying to chase this one down. Dotes is nowhere in sight, and Michael is able to roll that one in to give Nubble Trouble the lead. Beautiful patience from Michael there. Dotes being occupied by Fear the Nubs at the midfield means that net is wide open for Nubble Trouble to take the lead. Now can they capitalize? past that halfway marker of game number 3, and things are getting intense. That one almost bounces in by Michael. Thankfully, Dotes is able to get there for the stop. Now Dotes looking, able to send this one right past the defender. Disbel is there yet again for the tie. Here we see Michael trying to predict this one, but again, just late getting up for that ball. Disbel being so quick with that decision making is able to tie us up. 2 minutes left to play. Score tied at 2s. Disbel trying to get the offense going. Fear the Nub in the net for the defensive play, looking for the clear. Takes a moment to see where these defenders are at. Can he sneak it past one? Tries to slow this one down, but Solitude is there to force a 50. Disbel with possession, but it's a great heads-up play. Fear the Nub getting aggressive with this demo. Michael now just has to get it past Solitude, but thankfully, Solitude is there to contest. A touch from Solitude almost goes towards that net, but the respawning player coming through will get that touch. Michael, no boost to play with. Has to get creative on defense here. Solitude looking to get aggressive, but will get bumped out of the play. We have Solitude being forced to hustle back on defense as Michael has the touch. Disbel is there on the rotation, but Fear the Nub is in the back, waiting to keep the play alive. Now we have the rotation coming through from Fear the Nub yet again. He's going to win that 50, and Michael's up for it. It's at the net, and it's in! An absolutely beautiful sequence of events for Nubble Trouble that all result in an even more beautiful goal. They take the 1-goal lead with a minute remaining here in game number 3. Can they take the lead in the series? They've been putting in the work, but oh, an unfortunate miss is going to tie us right back up at 3. Is a little bit of an awkward touch off that kickoff, and Michael not expecting it. Has to try to rotate back, but Disbel has the advantage, has the angle, has the goal. So just like that, all of Nubble Trouble's hard work going to disappear as we're tied up at 3s. Under a minute left to play. Fear the Nub is getting aggressive. Disbel going to be able to take this one away. However, has to get it by Michael. Michael with the flip, and thankfully that one's going wide left. Michael even getting the demo on Disbel. They have the transition onto offense. Solitude has the pickup back in the blue side corner. Michael is also back on defense. Now we have Disbel trying to force the initiative here, force the issue, get this one in front of the net. Solitude even trying to back him up. But it's a scramble. Neither team the clear winner of that interaction. Disbel tries to yet again get that by 2 defenders, but the Nubble Trouble double commit. It's too much trouble to deal with. As Michael now has the touch. Solitude has the intercept. Michael back and keeping this one even, and will we have our second overtime of the series? The ball is still in play, but it will touch the grass. Something all of us can do from time to time. Here we are in OT, tied up at 3s. Disbel being forced back, has to get it over Fear the Nub. Fear the Nub now has to adjust. Michael also back on defense, occupying the net. Michael with that touch. Solitude will get it there, and this one almost rolls right in, but Fear the Nub has the miracle save. Michael now will contest this one. Disbel will have to reposition, probably running low on boost after that play, so was forced back just a bit. It's a big touch, it's a big clear, it's at the net, and it's in! Nubble Trouble able to secure the overtime victory to take the lead in the series. It's just beautiful awareness, beautiful play out of Nubble Trouble, just able to study and start to piece apart their opponents. Just wear them down at the very end, really biding their time until those opportunities arise. You can see everything very even across the board, maybe a slight shot advantage going towards Disbel, but the Nubble Trouble teamwork really coming into effect. Some of those amazing passing plays, Fear the Nub just being in great positions, allows them to take the lead here in the grand final. Here we go. Game number 4 of our grand finals, best of 5. Nubble Trouble in the lead, but will the bubble burst? We'll have to see. Dotes undoubtedly wanting to battle back. Solitude as an opportunity, but Michael had the demo onto Disbel. Gonna put Dotes at a disadvantage, but Disbel off the respawn, able to sneak that one away from Michael. Has the touch, has possession, tries to get that one back over to Fear the Nub, but Disbel seeing the line right off the respawn. A beautiful play to get Dotes in the lead. Dotes fighting back against the Double Trouble lead right now. Michael at the midfield will pass over to Fear the Nub. Fear the Nub tries to get the backflip onto that one. It's off the backboard. Michael has the touch to send this one away. Solitude now with position. He's going to be face down yet again by Fear the Nub. Doing a great job in that back line for Double Trouble. Disbel forcing that 50. Fear the Nub trying to get this one past Solitude. He's able to get in front of that ball. Ball now on the orange side of the pitch. Disbel has the touch. Michael again able to recover, get back onto defense. And a demo going to be coming through, taking Michael out of the play. Solitude will have this one on net, and Disbel is there for the follow-through. A 2-0 lead now for Dotes, one of the biggest leads we've seen here in the grand final between these two almost evenly matched teams. Strengths and weaknesses on either side coming into play. Now Double Trouble with a big disadvantage, 2 goals down. Can they get some of this momentum swinging back in their favor? It's the question only they can answer. Another touch from Disbel. Gonna be rolling wide left, and Michael gonna sneak this one away, get the clear downfield, center this one up on net, and in the solo play from Michael to bring us within 1 goal here. Great touch. Solitude again trying to win that 50, but Michael so solid at the 50-50s and winning that one not only in 50-50 fashion, but converting it into a goal is just what Double Trouble needed. Can Disbel extend this lead yet again? Up in the air with that aerial control off the crossbar, bounces out by a pixel. Double Trouble thanking their lucky stars, and I'm sure Dotes consider that one all but in, so it's a bit of a scramble on defense. They're not back for it, and that's going to allow Michael to score and tie us up at 2s. With how that play developed, I can't even fault Dotes for not being back on defense, as that one was all but rolled in for him. A slight breeze coming into play for Double Trouble, able to blow that one out of the net. Michael takes that one away. So we're tied up at 2s. Double Trouble, Michael able to knock this one to midfield. Disbel being forced back on the defense. It's a nice little stop. Can he get the redirect? But a great follow-up by Fear the Nub will slow down Dotes' offense. Another great touch. Tries to center it up on Michael. Michael knows he has to get back on defense. Sends this one into the blue side corner. Able to sneak away that boost, and that'll give him a little bit of an advantage in that Disbel 1v1. Ball now at midfield. Disbel trying to get the touch. Again, Fear the Nub contesting, just constantly being in the way of Disbel and the net has been Double Trouble's key to success. Here's Michael, another touch. Out of boost, has to play this one safe and goes for the 50-50 with no boost, manages to win it. Thankfully, Solitude is there for Dotes. Fear the Nub is up. Expends his boost to get this one into the orange corner. Michael going to be forced back on defense, has to be up for this one. He has the bounce, however, and it's Disbel with another dunk to take the lead. See this one. We saw this one in the earlier semifinal from Disbel. Able to just get this one centered up on net and then set sights on his opponent to bump them out of the way and ensure that goal. A beautiful play from Disbel. The kickoff is an even 50-50. It's going to be Disbel up towards the ball first. Fear the Nub out of the play for the time being. It's Dotes on the back of 2 amazing plays from Disbel, able to take the 2-goal lead with just under 2 minutes left to play. Dotes here in position to force the Game 5 grand final. Not only are those leaderboard points on the line, but you're talking about seeding for the grand final, qualification for the grand final. of course, the lion's share, that $1,400 first place finish. It's going to be Solitude off the kickoff, bending it like Beckham towards that goal. Beautiful shot from Solitude, going to extend this lead to 3. Clock is counting us in yet again for the kickoff. This Nubble trouble, in deep trouble at this point in time, as Disbel gets another demo. Solitude is there, has possession, but Michael is there with the takeaway. Fear the Nub has spawned in. This one might be centered up. No, just going to be shy of finding the net. It bounces off the left side post, and Dotes gets the clear into the blue side pitch, and Solitude has the sauce on that shot to take us to 6. Dotes really finding their footing here, and better late than never is really all I can say. Looking dominant in game number 4 against Nubble Trouble. Nubble Trouble even on match point. Another even 50-50. Solitude going to try to knock this one to the sidewall, but Michael is up with the touch first. Solitude has gotten back on defense, but a beautiful tee up for Fear the Nub. He's able to sneak that one away. Look at this beautiful play. Michael here setting up the perfect setup for Fear the Nub, who sends that one right at the net. Can Nubble Trouble make the comeback here? They are now one step closer after that goal, reducing the Dotes lead to 3. Pass back off the kickoff towards Michael, but Disbel is up for the intercept. Fear the Nub up off the backboard to get a healthy clear. Disbel being forced back on the defense, forced back to reposition. Ball in the orange corner of the pitch. Fear the Nub getting his hands dirty against the Dotes defense, but Disbel has the flick. Michael not ready for it. It's going to be Dotes hitting 7 goals, forcing the game 5 in our grand final. Just beautiful setup there. Beautiful flick from Disbel. Dotes now hitting their stride. Finally in game number 4 with similar notes to what we saw in our semifinal number 2, where eventually they start to wear down their opponents with that relentless offense, and it pays off here. The 7-3 win for Dotes will force our game 5 in the grand final. All right, here we go. Game 5 in the grand final. Who will walk away victorious? It's Solitude. An early lead off that kickoff, but of course, Fear the Nub in that back line to stop the Dotes' offensive pressure. Has to recover, however. This one sent a bit over the hood of his car. Michael, thankfully, back for that rotation. Solitude is there for the 50. Fear the Nub again with the touch, but Disbel sending this one at the net. Michael has rotated for the save. Great sequence of events from either side on that play. A reset here, but Disbel is up with it, able to carry that one past the defender. And Dotes has struck first in our decider game 5. You can see Michael trying to make that rotation, but after the hectic nature of that previous play, Disbel just able to exploit the positioning of their opponents. Michael, of course, making his best effort. Fear the Nub has to adjust off that sidewall play. Hopefully, Disbel with the reset, but Michael is ready for it. Gets the save, stops it from being 2-0. Tries to get the clear. Dotes still has possession, however. You have Solitude at the midfield with full tank of boost. Able to send this one back into the blue side. But a good clear from Nubble Trouble will mean that Disbel has to look for a play now. It's up off the backboard. The defender stuck on the backboard, and Disbel be clocking in 2 here in game number 5 right off the rip. 2 up for Dotes, able to bounce that one around a couple of defenders, beautifully executed. And we're back to another kickoff. Just over a minute played here in our game 5 in the grand final. This one's going to be on the orange side. Disbel going to be looking to slow this one down. Ball is centered up, however. Slow shot from Michael will allow Disbel to make the recovery. Michael, however, not letting this play die out, tries to get another attempt, but now it's Solitude with a beefy clear. Disbel has the boost, and Solitude has the wrap. Dotes looking dominant. Double Trouble looking gassed. Great shot from Solitude, able to secure another goal for himself there. Now Double Trouble has to find a way to dig themselves out of this hole. Disbel is up. This one's rolling across the orange net. Disbel still having possession. Fear the Nub trying to hustle back, but Disbel has plenty of boost left, but a great save from Michael will stop that equally amazing Disbel carry. And Disbel even managing to rotate back onto defense to get that stop. Disbel going coast to coast yet again. Tries to contest against Michael. Little miss from Solitude could open things up for Double Trouble, and it will. Michael able to get on the board. Cut this lead down to 2. There's still plenty of Rocket League left to play. Great awareness from Michael there, able to recognize that opportunity. Take advantage of that situation for the blue duo. But Disbel not missing a beat, right back onto offense, sending this one towards the blue side. Solitude tries to center this one up, but Disbel has to look for the boost. Some miscommunication from Double Trouble could spell disaster for them. Thankfully, they're able to clear this one out to the midfield line. Solitude will send it to the side wall. Fear the Nub will bounce that one on center. Disbel managed to rotate back, get the stop, but Michael is here, and a great pinch from Solitude will slow down this play. Michael, however, still has plenty of boost left in the tank. Not able to maintain possession, however, will lead to Disbel with a slight opportunity, but Fear the Nub is there for the clear. But Solitude in the perfect position yet again. Fear the Nub misses the double tap pinch towards the orange side, and Solitude is able to catch that one mid-air and send Dotes further into the lead. Just over 2 minutes left to play. Dotes with the 3-goal lead. It's a 50 towards the orange side of the pitch. Disbel up for this one, but playing it a little slow. Has the touch. Might be waiting for Solitude to rotate through. The flip reset, however, is going to mean that Dotes is on the board yet again. Able to get this one by the defender. A tough play for Fear the Nub. Has to decide whether or not Disbel is going to knock that one down or pick that one up. It's a 50-50, and unfortunately, he just chose wrong. Dotes extends the lead to 4. The demo coming through will mean that Dotes is 1 goal away from closing out the grand final here and now. A beautiful touch from Solitude, has all the momentum in the world to take out his opponent and ensure that goal. Now, can Dotes close it out on this kickoff here? Or can Double Trouble mount a comeback? It's in Double Trouble's favor. It's up. Disbel has the save. Double Trouble would have loved for that one to go in early off that kickoff. That's not the way the ball is going to bounce. At the 50, a demo comes through. Disbel is off the pitch. Michael looking for something, but Disbel off the respawn has the save into the orange corner. And now Double Trouble has to put in all the work yet again. Disbel trying to get this one past Michael. Michael will be able to settle this one. Has the boost, but doesn't have a great touch. Fear the Nub also tries to contest, but is going to go just a tad too wide. That means Disbel has one across. It's going to cross the net. Still on the blue side of the pitch in the blue corner. Disbel trying to get this one in. Solitude tries to cut this one back. Disbel going to play this one slow. You can see he was looking for it there, looking for his moment to pounce to close out this game. But now even the clock is on their side. Solitude is up for it. Fear the Nub manages to get the save and a nice clear down pitch, but it's not going to produce any offense. Now Disbel potentially closing the game out right here, and he does. Disbel forcing the issue against Michael. What an amazing series in the Adaptive Esports tournaments. And it's going to be Dotes clutching up in Game 5 to go back-to-back in victories against Double Trouble. What a stark difference from what we saw in those first couple of games. Double Trouble really hanging in there, keeping things close. I mean, it's back and forth, right back between these two squads, but that's like, Dote's kind of ace in the hole, right? Is they're going to wear you down. So even if you're able to contest early on, keep things close, even take a couple of games, you have to be able to keep at that pace for the entire series. And that's kind of the next evolution of what these teams are going to need to adjust and adapt to be able to take down Dotes.
Yeah, I mean, that was a marathon. I mean, not only for the players, but for you as well. So once again, kudos on a phenomenal cast.
Fun.
That was one of our closest matchups that we've ever seen. I mean, we got multiple overtimes. We had multiple shot for shot, goal for goal situations. The fact that at the very end, Dotes is able to pull away, I mean, that could potentially be the mark of a champion.
Yeah.
We'll take a look back at the bracket and see how everything played out. Obviously, we went the full 5 and Dotes still come out on top. But we gotta give so much love to Double Trouble because the adjustment they made from the last qualifier to this one in that exact same matchup was insane.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Kudos to Double Trouble. I think they had the adjustments made and those locked in. The difference was the endurance, right? It's being able to keep
100%.
that up and just play flawless. It's like, okay, we made the right adjustments, but you run that simulation 1,000 times and sometimes you're going to miss. So the longer that series went on, the more the scales kind of tip back in the favor of Dotes because you're just not going to be able to play perfect for, an entire 5 games in a series.
Sure. And then, of course, Nerve Damage coming out in 3rd place there, down there in our 3rd or 4th match. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see what happened with these points. Now, this is the overall leaderboard. This is who will be qualifying through to our finals. Double Trouble hold on to 1st place after a stellar performance.
Yeah, Double Trouble kind of staying out ahead, but they've clearly, solidified their rivals here in Dotes, who is rapidly catching up to them. Prior to this, Dismal wasn't even on the leaderboard. And now that they've kind of conjoined, they've added their points together through the beautiful power of addition. They are sitting in 2nd place. Double Trouble, just through repetition, being early on in those qualifiers, has that lead. So they'll have the seeding advantage going into that grand finals bracket. And then, of course, the wild card, the last chance qualifier team.
Yes.
Do we have some teams kind of waiting that were just like, we missed out early on, we're not going to be able to get the points, let's bank on the LCQ to find our spot? That's again kind of the next thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think the LCQ is going to be very interesting as we are able to then add that final team to our top 8 that will be making their way through to those finals that we've talked about so many times in January. But we also have mentioned this earlier, we have our community game night right after we are done here, okay? You can head on over to AET.gg to join in on all of the shenanigans. It's been a blast every single time so far, and you want to be checking in with our community and all the amazing things that they're doing. And then speaking of amazing things, if you want to support our charity partners, you can head on over to aet.gg/donate. Your donation will be split equally amongst our 3 amazing partners down there at the bottom. And like you always say, Frank, without them, none of this would even be possible. Yeah. We're creating a really cool community of amazing people, amazing partners, and now amazing gameplay.
It's
Finals
all coming together. The finals are going to be insane because we have like winter break, right? Essentially where all these teams can kind of get in the lab, even review some game film, study their opponents. I'm really expecting, we've kind of been talking a lot about Double Trouble and Dotes. Those are the front and center storylines right now. But like you saw on the standings on that leaderboard, there's plenty of teams who can step things up in that interim. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of upsets come grand finals time.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure you guys are keeping up to date on everything that we've got going on because January is going to be really spicy. I mean, between the LCQ and then the finals, we've got a lot of action still in store for all of you. But that's all we have for today for our 4th and final qualifier. We're going to enjoy a short break, and then we'll be back in January with the LCQ to see where our final squad is making their way through.
Yep, we'll see you then.